Spring can mean a lot of things. The prim and proper organization after a fresh spring cleaning, the chaotic reclaiming of life after the harsh cold of winter, budding bright flowers with warm colors, and so much more. Let's take a stroll together through the season and explore different ideas we can sow to help us reap the island harvest of our dreams. I hope you've got the kettle on and the sugar out, because it's about to get fragrant and sweet. On most spring-inspired islands that I visited, there is often this chaotic beauty that comes across. We see it especially in all the flower fields that use a wide variety of colors. Most stick to softer tones, white, yellow, green, maybe a little orange over here, or a few occasional splashes of pink over there. It was actually a bit surprising to see just how different flower fields could be, and it's not just about the flowers, but the smaller and often more creative ideas as well. Toss in a few gyroids for some additional splashes of color and sound. Rock gardens are popular to include, along with a few insect models, and I love Cosmos umbrellas, they're so adorable. I do want to briefly touch on flower placement because despite the natural organic appearance, it can be helpful to place flowers with a bit of intention instead of just going all willy-nilly. I've got two examples for you. Here, at first glance, the flowers look sort of sporadic and placed randomly, but upon closer inspection, we notice that the flowers are planted along a diagonal, with every other flower being different. Orange cosmos, orange hyacinths, orange cosmos, etc. In this example, the diagonal lines are not as obvious, but we can still see how the yellow and white flowers move in a general diagonal down from the top left to the bottom right, while the orange flowers generally move from the bottom left to the top right. Obviously, place your flowers however you want. These are just two ideas that might help your field look a bit more cohesive. Alright, enough chit chat about flowers, let's move on. Many spring-inspired islands tend to take on a more country-like rural vibe. Lots of natural terraforming with trickling streams, small ponds with ducks and wildlife all around. Even cozy little spots to explore passions like the arts. Places to paint, spots to read, areas to take in the view with a pie fresh from the oven. Spring is about new beginnings and that hopeful optimism for the year ahead. So take some time to think about what evokes those ideas for you. When I think about new beginnings, I often think of farms. In the spring, we sow the seeds and nurture them to help them grow. An idea that I think would be adorable is to give each of your villagers a personal little garden that reflects how you view them on your island. Then add in a little farmer's market area where they can come and exchange their harvests. I also love the more rural pastime of stopping by the drive-in movie theater. Add in lots of wheat or splash in some flowers, add a few of those dangly light thingies, and you've got yourself the perfect spot to enjoy the afternoon with your favorite villagers. And speaking of villagers, the countryside tends to be a place with stronger community connections, so consider creating small neighborhood areas where you have a few villagers living in close proximity to each other. Make the area cozy with lots of complementing colors and surround it with nature to really tap into that country charm. Meadows are also quite popular, wide open spaces with lots of shrubs and flowers and narrow streams. I know that some people prefer the tight, secure feeling of dense areas with lots of trees, while others, like myself, prefer large, clear spaces that allow us to see far and wide with ease. Springcore is a great theme for whichever suits you best, or for both, if that's the way that you want to go. Also, can we just take a quick second to appreciate how sweet little Maple and adorable little Molly are just stuck in their own little holes? They're pretty holes, don't get me wrong, but they're holes in the ground, and it's so cute. A design concept that I was surprised to come across was this idea of an urbanized Springcore island. This combination works by including lots of little nature spots like short trails along the stream, cozy yards that act as a sort of transition area, or even something like this outdoor concert space. All of these areas feel like they're a part of nature, but then you just take a few steps over and we're strolling along roads with little flower details and lots of bright bursts of colors everywhere. I never thought about combining these these two themes before, but this is just another example of how creative you can get with your islands. You really can have the best of both worlds, and more often than not, it's going to look incredible. Care to join me for a quick stroll down the beach of codes? Starting off, we have my personal favorite grassy spring path. There are a few splashes of white, yellow, and pink, which help it to blend perfectly with spring-inspired areas. These flower paths come in a wide variety of colors, and for spring, you can never have too many colors. They're basically the whole point of what it's about. These bunny-shaped stumps are adorable, they're bright and warm, and perfect to make little hopping paths through your flower fields. And look at this little bear on the wooden plank. I love the white flowers at the edges, and the texture looks so good. Personally, I adore these little, doily rug things. I don't really know what to call them, but I literally have them all over my island. I think that they're just lovely. And this bunny fabric coat is precious. The colors are so warm, and it'll instantly make any item that you customize with this code look like an ideal spot to sit and just sip tea as you watch the sunset. When it comes to the ideal villagers for a spring-inspired island, there are a lot of really great choices. I'm going to share just a few who I really love. So, Joey's a baby duck. He's got that face where you know he's secretly super sneaky, like he'll be playing games all afternoon on the phone, minding his own business all nice and well behaved, and then when the credit statement comes in the mail, there's like a $200 charge for Candy Crush. And you can't be mad at him, but you also don't have $200, so it's just a really adorably frustrating situation. Chelsea is the embodiment of spring, and to me, she is without a doubt the kind of person who would stand with an umbrella in the middle of her garden, in the middle of a rainstorm, just because she thinks that the hard falling rain was trying to bully her delicate prize-winning roses. And it's like, that's not quite how it works, but A for effort. Rosie is a blueberry. I just want to squish her cheeks and tell her that she's a good kitty. I don't know why Chief screams spring to me, it really doesn't make sense, but it's just how I feel. He is absolutely a daddy's rich boy who dropped out of business school to pursue a career in the arts. Currently, he has a piece in a gallery called The Price of Poverty. It's essentially a canvas made out of $100 bills with macaroni hot glued to it. The New York Times called it revolutionary, and his good old daddy just bought it for $10 million. It'll be displayed in the Smithsonian next month, after they get their tax write-off. Gotta love art. Azalea reminds me of a yoga instructor whose classes start at like 5 a.m. because she likes to do downward facing dog while the sun rises behind her because she thinks it's ironic. Which other villagers do you think fit well with the spring theme? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got some fun ideas for your island and that you have a fantabulous spring or whatever season you find yourself watching this video in. And until next time, bye!